The inspirations for this series of videos was a research study that was published by a couple of researchers at Morningstar back in 2012. It was written by David Blanchette, who is with Morningstar Investment Management, and Paul Kaplan, who is the Director of Research for Morningstar Canada. I say inspiration because I read this document a couple years ago now, and I was so pleased to see that they were really confirming what we were doing in our business for over 10 years at that time. And essentially, it's about concluding in their study that financial planning has great value, and there's even a way to quantify it. So that's what we'll talk about today, and kind of how can that possibly be. So the title of their study was Alpha, Beta, and now Gamma. And alpha and beta are common terms used in finance. We hear them all the time, and I'll explain them a little bit better. But gamma was not really secured by one particular thought. So the researchers thought that this was the next letter in the alphabet after alpha, beta, and gamma, and that this was really the next leg on the stool of good financial planning and working with investments in your retirement. So they're trying to secure this word to describe the value of making what they call intelligent financial decisions in retirement. Okay, so that's what they were had researched and were studying and trying to quantify for us. So, like I said, it was an inspiration to me, and I'm going to try to explain a little bit to you why I would have been so excited about this. We mentioned alpha, beta, and gamma. Well, the first thing we should clarify, I guess, is beta. Now, beta is kind of simple. It's really the measure that what is the market going to deliver to me, and you can think of there is beta in any market. So if you have a broad bond market or a broad stock market, there is a beta associated with that market, and it essentially is that if I just enter the market and look at what the market as a whole is going to deliver, that's going to be the beta. So my expectation of buying a broad selection of stocks is going to be that I get a result that is almost predictable from the market. So if I buy 30 or 40 stocks, my results should be very similar to what I would get buying the whole Canadian market or the whole U.S. market, and that's what beta is. So alpha is a little bit different. Alpha is what we're seeking to get above the marketplace. So I'm going to hire a manager who is going to help me get an alpha, or I'm going to seek that alpha myself. And how am I going to do that? I'm going to say, well, the market itself is going to deliver a certain return, but I'm better than that. So I'm going to pick, these 10 stocks, and I'm going to throw out those 10 stocks as being not acceptable, that I don't think they're going to make anything this year. So I'm going to make some decisions and selections, and I'm going to make you some extra money. That's what alpha is all about. And most of us are all seeking alpha at all times. When we're looking for a mutual fund or an ETF, we're evaluating, how is the manager done, and how is he done compared to his peers, and how is he done compared to the market as a whole. And we're trying to sort out through all that data to find the guy that's beaten the market, and that's alpha. So now, what is gamma? Now, gamma is the effect of making good financial decisions in retirement, and the researchers were trying to quantify that and say that whether they were really testing to see if there was results from making these good decisions. And what they essentially have said in their research study is that gamma produces a positive result. And there's different components to what gamma is, and each one of those components all produced a positive result. There was 5 that they tested. And what was surprising was that when we look at the fact that alpha is producing very little in an aggregate, after fees maybe not producing anything, what they're basically saying is that gamma will produce a positive result. But essentially, they're saying that by making good decisions, you can improve your results. And this is kind of important when you're thinking that, well, hiring a manager hasn't improved my results, but making good decisions will improve my results. In fact, in one area, they actually talked about the fact that having an advisor may still give you a positive result, even though you've hired an advisor to give you an alpha result by his investment selections and how he organizes your investments and so on. And he, at the end, may produce still a win for you and improve your results because he's applying all the intelligent decisions that are contributing to the alpha. So think of it as we're spending a lot of money with hiring these mutual fund managers, and they come with an advisor that's part of the package. And at the end of the day, the mutual fund manager hasn't produced a positive alpha for me, but having an advisor has at least brought me back to neutral again by making good decisions. Now, of course, we see this as being an opportunity to say, well, if I'm not seeking alpha and I'm still using the services of an advisor, then I can then get a positive overall result because I'm not being dragged down by the fees of the alpha manager, and then on top of that, I'm getting a positive result from the gamma. So now this is very all complicated, and we're going to try to break this down for you in each little topic and try to explain how these all work together. Now, I'm in the business of financial planning, so I obviously believe that well, if we can get beta on the market and then we can get a positive result from good financial decisions, then I want to offer my clients how to get make good financial decisions that will give them a positive result above the beta. So now I can be in a situation where I can get the beta from the marketplace quite easily, and I can improve upon that by getting the gamma that will give me a positive result. Somewhat this discussion today is about maybe we should be seeking gamma instead of seeking alpha, which is what everybody else is seeking. And I think my last point on this, should quickly be that one of the reasons I was inspired so much by this report is it was actually produced by Morningstar, which their business is largely supporting alpha managers. Their support is less of importance in the past to financial planners, who are the people that are delivering the gamma. So here we have a report coming from an organization that is really providing services to the alpha managers of the world, and coming up with the conclusion that's saying, but it's the financial planners that are producing all the value to the situations for their clients. That was wonderful news, and of course we were very excited to have somebody research that in a very careful study and conclude, like I said, that financial planning is what is producing the positive results for everybody.